Welcome to the media chat room where the celebrity headlines are talking. And y'all, today we are live behind the headline. So that means we're doing everything behind the scene, or we're covering everything behind the scenes, but on live. So today we will be covering y'all Monique, who finally speaks out against Oprah in regards to the Taraji P Henson breakdown or meltdown that she had during the promotion of The Color Purple. So it was a whole lot of things, a whole lot of mess that was going on. And Taraji basically stayed in the headlines this whole entire time while promoting the movie The Color Purple because of a lot of things that was happening behind the scenes. For one, we know that she was not paid well and she almost had to walk away. Two, we know that there was a lot of issues with the working conditions, meaning they didn't have food, they had to share trailers, different things like that that brought a lot of exposure to the movie and maybe not such a good light. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And now that Monique has actually spoken out about it, we actually have her input on it and exactly what she had to say about the big O. And I said the big O, y'all, just because that's what they call her. I don't really care either way about it, but I do have my thoughts and opinions on it. So, like I mentioned to y'all, a lot of things was happening behind the scenes where people felt like there was tension between Oprah and Taraji. And a lot of that came from this instance right here. This was one of their promotional days where they had to do press, and Oprah says this was like their fourth press run that they had to do for the day. They were on top of the Empire State Building, and it was cold. So this was the picture, or this stemmed from a pose that the whole entire group end up taking, and this is them kind of, I guess, like ducked off by themselves. And I'm actually show a video where the rumor kind of started from, because this was after Taraji had went on stage and told everyone about the different condition that they were experiencing behind the scenes of the film, i.e., her not getting paid what she was deserved, i.e., them not having trailers for their individual selves and things like that. So here's the video that everyone. Oh, I don't have that video, do I? Well, I actually don't have the video, but basically the way the video is originally the group was coming together to take a picture, and as y'all seen in that other picture before, Oprah and Taraji were kind of like in the middle. As everyone kind of came together to take the picture, Oprah stepped to the back. And so it made people believe that she didn't want to be by Taraji because she was upset that Taraji kind of been talking and stirring up drama during the promotion. So that could have seemed like a thing because on the actual video, when Oprah walks up to Taraji, Taraji kind of looking in the sky, Oprah kind of looking from left to right, and the tension kind of falls once the entire cast starts to come together to take the picture. So because that started trending, whenever they had to go onto the carpet for the Golden Globes, they had to address it. Here goes a video of exactly what people felt like where the tension came from when Danielle actually explains the working conditions.
Came in and we were doing rehearsal and they put us all in the same space. Like we didn't have our own dressing rooms at the time and they did not give us sorry, Miss O, we didn't have no food.
She had no idea.
She didn't know what was going on.
She had no idea.
She was like, I heard about it.
Oh, yeah.
And you corrected it for
I
us.
corrected it.
You
I called
corrected
you.
it.
Didn't I call you?
Yes,
I
and
did.
I was like, Miss O, we gotta fix this. And she said, say less. And was it not
And
fixed?
that's what I appreciated, though. You were our voice because a lot of times, yes, I've done a lot of TV, I've done a lot of films, specifically independent films, but this is my first studio film. So sometimes you do come in just saying, okay, well, I'm gonna just take whatever they give me. I'm just happy to be here, you know? But you spoke up for us and you showed me how to do that. But what I've really enjoyed is your sisterhood is authentic and it's real.
So that's the moment that everyone has been going with, talking about basically the lackluster of treatment that the black cast has received in working with Oprah. Now, as y'all know, this was a studio movie. Therefore, Warner Brothers was the studio that actually created this budget in order for them to do the movie. And so what Oprah's role was she was the production. So y'all know the way I kind of thought about it in order for me to kind of get the visual of how this actually worked. Think about it like I'm a reality show kind of girl. Now, I don't watch it as much as I used to, but I know how it goes basically over the years of watching. So there's this network that people have to produce content for. So think of that as like the Warner Brothers. And then there's like the Carlos Kings and all these different all these different productions who actually come up with these concepts and shoot in order to pitch it to such people. So Oprah will be like the Carlos King of it all. It's like they have to get the crew out there, the film, create the budget, set up the scenes, all that kind of stuff. Because I was like, uh, Oprah is the executive producer. Like she don't have nothing to do with that. And then when I kept looking more into it, it's like no, she was more of the actual production. But again, we all know that Oprah is just the name of the actual she's just the name for the production. She's not necessarily the person who's going down looking at the budget seeing who got what. Is Oprah Winfrey. We know that she got people, but she gonna take the brunt of it all, of course, because it's her name. So that's just kind of how that all worked. So once they started talking about that, it became the vocal point of a lot of the traction from the promotion. And so when they went over to the Golden Globes, of course, Gail King asked them what's happening behind the scenes because we're hearing that there's tension between you and Taraji. And here's what they said.
So 3 people have stopped me today, Oprah, and said, what is the deal with Oprah and Taraji? What do you want to share with the class? No, I'm addressing that to Oprah.
Oh,
because people
I saw your face.
No, because people
I
think
know that it's not a deal.
It's
yeah,
not a
but
deal.
people think you're mad, she's mad. I know that that's
Well,
not
first
true.
of all, the thing that is so upsetting to me is that somebody went on and something went viral where they're analyzing us on,
The
on
body
top
language.
on top of the
We
Empire
were
State.
tired.
We were
Oprah
cold.
said you were cold.
We were cold. It was cold.
Yeah,
That
there's
was the
a whole
fourth thing we
TikTok
had done
about-
that day.
yes.
That was the fourth thing we had done that day. First of all, I just want to say that from the beginning, when I got the first phone call that they were being asked to rent cars because they were in the middle of rehearsal.
Well, I asked for my own car because I like to drive myself. I'm a Southern woman.
So I heard that Taraji was upset because she'd been asked to do a rental car. I personally called Toby Emmerich, who was at the time the head of Warner Brothers, and he said, well, that means we have to do cars for everybody. Then I said, then we do cars for everybody. And if it's necessary, I will pay for the cars myself. He goes, well, we don't want you to do that. So, from that was one thing, trailers were another thing, food was another thing.
And everything got handled.
Got handled.
I just
so
want
I don't
people to
even
know
know
there's no
why. I don't
beef
even know.
between-
You know what? It's so disturbing to me. Why is my name even in this
Can I
conversation?
say
because you're
something?
Oprah Winfrey.
Can I say something?
Why is my
Can
name
I
in this
say something
conversation?
before we
Because
leave?
I have just been the champion for everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I want to just say one thing. I'm a mother of young kids. Social media has become a thing. Social media has become a thing where they will take something that's not even true and run it and run it and run it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's almost like you guys, some of the interviews you're posting happened long ago, or it wasn't that, and they will
Pieced
take things.
together and all that
Yes.
stuff, no.
So at the end of the day, when we first said that this movie was going to be a healing thing at CinemaCon, I knew, without a shot of a doubt, that people would try to break that down. Anything that has healing a part of it, they will do so. So we
All
have
the
to
haters.
overlook all of that other stuff
Yeah.
and keep shining bright, because this movie, The Color Purple, is healing the land,
Yes.
baby. So no matter what, I just want to say,
Yes.
it's nonsense.
There is
But,
no thing.
but there isn't anything,
no
because
thing.
what
There
I know
is
is
no
you've been
thing.
a champion of
Been a
Taraji
champion
and everybody.
And everybody.
And
Yes.
that's the only point
And
that
trying to make sure that everybody got exactly what they needed. First of all, I am a producer. Scott is a producer.
Yes,
We
yes.
are not the studio. We are not the studio,
But
okay?
I tell you what,
The
this is my first time getting a Golden Globe, and I do not want to miss that carpet, y'all.
Yeah, over the nonsense.
So that is everything that happened when they were questioned about it. And I wanted to play it through because it's going to be a part of Monique's response when she talks about how she championed for the women and things like that. So with all of this that happened, the Color Purple actually did fairly well when it came out. It debuted as the second most highest Christmas debut movie, grossing in $18.15 million in the box office. However, I'm thinking because of all the drama that happened, it kind of put like a damper on everything that was all the things that here go Audrey. Audrey James said, Fantasia, shut up. Now, I'm going to kind of double down on that one. I think that what happened was she was just trying to do like a little cover up. She was like, hey, the reason why we got rental cars was because I asked for it personally because I'm a Southern girl. I think that was her way of trying to take a lot of the heat off of Oprah because one of the statements that she made in the video, Oprah, she was like the guy at the time was saying, "Well, and we gotta do for one, we gotta do for others." And so, from what it seems like, Fantasia probably could have requested a rental car because she may even live in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. So this is where the movie was actually filmed, and she probably, it was probably home and comfortable for her. Unlike someone like Taraji, who's like, "Man, we're working these long days. I'm going in. What do I look like going to take myself to set? Having to find parking, having to walk through possible neighborhoods and among strangers. It just for her probably could have been a safety issue on more than one level. But also I heard her say, it was a liability, and so for that reason, she was the biggest person on the set in terms of film wise because Danielle, although she is an actress, she's not on the level of Taraji. And some people might say, hey, even Taraji may not be like an A-lister, but in the black community, she is. But I don't think she's seen that way amongst the wider or Caucasian audience. But yeah, Audrey, thanks for that comment. But everybody have been saying the same thing. Like Fantasia needs to shut up. But I think that really and truly, it probably could have been for her a comfort thing. Like she probably gets driven around, but not to that degree of like going on sets because she's not a actress. She probably goes to set like for a music video, and for her, that could not be customary. But for someone like Taraji P, it's very customary for her to make sure that she's taken to set, probably have some type of level of security and so forth and so on. Especially too, um, like usually when they do a lot of those things, when it comes to production, they're like on the studio a lot. And I don't even know if this movie probably was on a lot of anything like that. I think that they did a lot of things like setup wise. So I don't know, but I do think that a lot of the negative press probably could have been taken away from the movie because so far they've only grossed like 55 million and they had a budget of $100 million. And here's one of the things that I found of how the budget was broken down, and this was in a span of 81 days. So it's at 7.2 million went into direct spending for the local economy, including payments to more than 2,500 local Georgians, the cast and the crew hired for the production. Now, here are some of the logistics that end up coming out of the budget. So 3.6 million on transportation and rentals. 3.5 on location fees and permits, 2.2 for lodging, and 1.2 for local catering for the cast and crew. Now, I'm guessing that must have got put in there afterwards because this was some of the things that they were complaining about. Of course, they did not have direct transportation service. They were asking to do rentals. And this was in the beginning stages. I don't know if they actually had this schedule and stuff playing out for the actual duration of the movie. But again, as Danielle said, it was during the rehearsal when they were getting together to do like the things before filming. The issues came again with the catering because they said that baby they ain't had no food, and Oprah had to baby send her little checkbook on down to Georgia so that they could get them some food and things like that. So when people are talking about the production, here's the actual producers. So Oprah, she is a producer, but she is not the only producer for this film. However, she is getting the brunt of it again because she's going out on press with them because she is a figurehead for the entertainment or throughout the entertainment industry. Of course, you can see that there's also Steven Spielberg, there's Scott Sanders, who is the person that's all the way on the right, and then Quincy Jones. They are all responsible for production. So Oprah is getting the brunt of the heat because she's the one who people see. She's the most recognizable person that people could target because she Oprah, like they said in the video. But in my opinion, all of them would be responsible. But again, these are some heavy hitters. They not sitting down looking at the budgets that come through, looking at who get this, who get that, and how it all go. They have staff who's actually taking care of this. So when she could say that she didn't know, I could actually believe it because when you're on this level and when you've been doing this for so long, you don't have to sit down and do the actual day-to-day operations of things. You have people that you hire for that, and you're now able to have the luxury of just basically signing off on everything. But you're just hoping that the people who you have in place are doing what they're supposed to do because that's what they get paid for. And also because they're production companies, I doubt if that's probably the only production that they're doing at the time. So when you think about it, you have to think about like the whole picture of things. And because Oprah name is listed as a producer, ultimately she is responsible. But I bet you who actually did it and was responsible for it, they probably got into a lot of trouble. So when in the clip that y'all gonna see with Monique and Daddy, he and my daddy, he her daddy though, he's gonna say like, well, when you look at the things that a producer is responsible for, you'll see that she was actually responsible for it. So I said, well, hell, let's go ahead and look up and see what producers do. And so when we look at the actual job titles and the roles of kind of like the producer or the difference between like the executive producers and the actual producers, there is a huge difference. In one area, one is just basically like a figurehead where they just basically have financial interest in the project versus someone who is a producer like Oprah and them was on this film. They're responsible for the execution, the contracts, the day-to-day operation, and the the operations of everything that's actually happening on the set. And between the both of them, the executive producers and the producers, they share a role of schedules, when things should be taking place, meaning like the dates and the actual budget, how much you should be spending and how much should be allocated to the categories. Now, y'all, I'm not in that industry, so I don't know. I'm just assuming based off of the stuff that I know and the type of work that I do. Okay. So, but that's a pretty much overview. And when you look at those actual, um, when you look at the actual uh, responsibilities, I can't see Oprah looking at people contracts, setting up day to day operations, setting up, telling the trailers to go be set over here, call this company for the trailers and things like that. I mean, just common sense wise, again. So yeah, it's her fault because it's her name on it and she's listed. But when they say Taraji didn't get paid what she was worth because of Oprah, it's it's not necessarily Oprah, in my opinion. It's gonna be again the people who are actually responsible for talking to her agents. And that was another thing that I thought about too. Is like when when I hear I used to hear on the TV like people when they talk about when they go in places in their contracts, they want only like red Skittles and they want their trailer to be sitting far in the east or to like a shine in their face and stuff like a Mariah Carey. Like why wasn't that kind of stuff listed in the contract to where me as the talent, I have to make sure that I have my own dressing room. I want to make sure that I have, just different things, car service, so that I can be um transported from location to location. So some of those things, it sounded like, although it was production, some of it just sounded like it should have been standard in the talent's contract to me. Because like I told you, I'm a reality girl. I'm a person who likes the headlines, so I'm always looking at different celebrity interviews and stuff. And some of that should just be standard. So we're gonna go ahead, y'all, and get into Monique's response. And from her response, we'll also talk about could some of this stuff that she's saying, could it be damaging on people like Taraji, who is gonna ultimately be the face for a lot of stuff that was happening behind the scenes because she's the one who was speaking out about it. So let's go ahead, y'all, and get into the clip from Monique and Daddy. Y'all know Daddy was on the scene. Daddy got to be on the scene.
Hear Taraji say, first of all, and I just want to give you step by step, okay? Mm-hmm. When you hear those sisters say, when we showed up, we didn't even have any trailers. When we showed up, there was no food. When we showed up, we had to get ourselves to the set. When you hear all of these things, and who was at the helm of this production, James?
Oprah Winfrey.
Okay, so when you hear all of these things, and then you start saying, see, this is the treatment of the black actress. It's nothing new. It's nothing new that the trailers are subpar. It's nothing new that either the food is subpar or there's no food at all. That's nothing new. So when Oprah Winfrey sits at the helm and Taraji P Henson says, it's an honor that we were handpicked. We were handpicked for this movie. Well, if they were handpicked for that movie, those women should have been taken care of from the moment go.
Right.
There's no way they should have walked up and there were no trailers. There's no way there was no food. And then when you hear Oprah say, but when Taraji called me, what did I do, Taraji? Lady O fixed it. When Taraji called Oprah, what happened was, James, Oprah got caught. That's what happened.
And if you look up the title of producer and what it is a producer's job is, you'll find that what Oprah fixed should have already been prepared when they got there under the title of producer. There need not be a fix.
And you know why things like this can happen, though, James? And we all watched those videos with Oprah Winfrey and Taraji. We all hear different things that Oprah Winfrey may say when it came down to Harvey Weinstein, and we don't want to put this all on Harvey Weinstein because we'll miss the what, silver lining?
Because we'll miss the point.
We'll miss the point. We've watched this person as I'm watching these videos now, and everything was, didn't I champion for y'all? As soon as you called me up, didn't I champion for y'all? For the production. It's like, Oprah Winfrey, stop it. Because what you did was you didn't champion for those black women, for our sisters. You didn't champion for them. What you did was in my humble opinion, it was, we can treat them just like we always treat the black actress. Who gonna check me, boo?
Oh.
I'm Oprah Winfrey. So then when Oprah Winfrey got the call, well, I fixed everything, but y'all know everything should have been done when you showed up. And that's the part that we're missing. Everything should have been done when our sisters walked on that set. It is no way that should have gone down like that. And now when you see our beautiful sisters saying, yeah, but it got fixed, it's like, y'all, we're making it worse doing that.
Mm.
And either one or two things is true. Either Oprah is powerful, or Oprah is not as powerful at three things. Oprah is powerful, Oprah is not as powerful as we believe, or Oprah chooses not to use her powers as it relates to championing for folks that need championing for. And you know what, too, James? And I say these things that I'm saying to you humbly. So when this comes out, I hope that it reflects the humility that we're trying to put with it. Okay?
Yes.
It was easy for our community to accept a broken black woman. And we saw Taraji be broken and bent over and crying. It's hard for our community to accept a black woman that has a strong black man by her side saying unacceptable.
Mm.
In an industry,
while exhibiting strength herself, you see two black people coming together saying, listen, we can sit up here and talk about being pro-right, pro-black, or we can sit up here and talk about being pro-truth. Because that doesn't have any colors. Gender bias is not included. We just talking about what is true. And if we deal with what is true, it will help better those people so they won't have to hide from what's real. They can be truthful and say, you know what? Y'all don't know what it is to be Oprah Winfrey. You don't know what it is to be Tyler Perry. Success is a drug that you can easily want more of, and we lost our way, and for that we want to apologize. How can we make it right? Do you know how wide the arms of the community would embrace them for telling that truth?
So y'all, while we were playing the video, we got a comment from Honeydew04, and she says, Monique gonna tell all, so I trust what she's saying. Taraji was bold enough to speak for the group and call Oprah for her, you know what? Shame on O, because she has the coins to take care of the team in a proper manner. So I think that from what we were hearing, she actually wanted to take care of the people. So what Monique is saying is like, nobody should have had to call you. All this should have been fixed and taken care of. And so basically somebody dropped the ball. Now remember, was an 81-day production film. So I don't know if that's long or short compared to what's happening in the industry, just to keep the budget down or what. But she did talk to Oprah, and Oprah, she did take care of it, and she was saying like, hey, production wise or Warner Brothers, because that's who actually was in charge of all of this stuff. If y'all don't want to fix it, then I'll come out of my pocket and I'll fix it. But Monique, she's definitely going to tell the truth, and that's what everybody is liking about her. However, I don't think that Monique is my thing is she's not calling everybody out. She's just focusing on Oprah because Oprah is who she has a vendetta against because of her experience. So it's one thing to say like, yeah, these ladies should have been taken care of. The Hollywood circuit, they don't respect us as actors, as actresses, and therefore we'll never see this type of treatment. like we should, or like our white counterparts, because blase. However, it was just the Oprah thing. When Oprah, again, she was not the only producer. Again, we went over the whole headline. There was four producers in total, and because um Monique has a vendetta, including she's had experience with her own dealings. She um she focused heavily on just that one, and unfortunately her and Oprah never were able to settle their differences. So it's going to be like, y'all see, I told y'all. And Oprah, she ain't no good, and she don't mean y'all no good, because she don't even take care of the black woman, which, for the most part, we know, because everybody is exposing everybody, so it's nothing new. But again, it's just like when you calling out truth, you have to call out the whole entire board, and not just be in for yourself to be like, see, I told y'all, ain't nothing gonna happen, ain't nothing gonna change, because this happened to me already with the same people who y'all having a problem with. So therefore, y'all know they the problem. And it brings me actually to something else with Monique, to where no matter what it is, no matter how it looks, even if they fixed it in a millimeter of a second, it was gonna still bring issue and take issue to Monique, just because they seem to have a problem with forgiveness, in my opinion, based off of what I see in this clip that I'm gonna play, and how they want, to me, it's like they have a thing with always wanting to be right. Now it's cool to call people out on their stuff, and everybody should be exposed with their hands out. But whenever you are a teacher, and whenever you're coming out in that manner, in that position, you have to be a student and a teacher. And you can't always be right in everything. And so this right here is actually a picture, and I'm about to show a clip of, if y'all remember that interview that was done with Comedy Hype, and they were conducting an interview that actually went viral, and it exposed Oprah, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, all of them. And in exposing them, this platform then basically took off like wildfire. And they were supposed to basically have some type of um relationship dealings, I'm guessing business wise, in terms of like, you help us promote by coming on, promoting the platform, and then we'll in turn promote all your work, and we kind of work together. And they didn't, meaning they, Monique and Sidney, they did not like some of the things that happened on this particular platform. And these people tried to go to them and be like, hey, what's going on? Whatever it is, we could fix this. And they were just like, they didn't even want to talk to the people no more. So it's like when he speaks and say, like, she speaks on like, hey, baby, and hey, sugar, and stuff like that, like publicly, but behind the scenes, it's not always like that. Because if you really care about people, and stuff is done for the betterment of the community and of the people, some of your actions would be different. So, although I like Monique, and I love the fact that she's calling people out, but again, um, when you take a stand like that, you have to be what you preach. So you have to be the humble person. If you say you're coming forward to be humble, like, you can't be doing and speaking stuff just in your best interest. Now when you are the first person to speak and bring the crumbs up from under the table, you have to know and be prepared to take the brunt of the hit. So you're going to be the face. So that all comes with the game and the territory. But for someone like Taraji, they were very focused on saying like, hey, it all got fixed, because they value the relationship and the partnership that they can have with someone like Oprah Winfrey. Now, does that mean that they're selling their soul? And does that mean that they, potentially are hurting the next generation behind them? Possibly, but possibly not. It just depends on the people who want these opportunities, and the position that they're trying to set themselves up for. Because everything has to be a strategy. And whenever you're focusing on that one thing, like Monique have seemed to have done in the interview, it's more like people going to take that and make the headlines to say, oh, Taraji exposed Oprah, or Taraji said that Oprah got caught, when she didn't say that. However, that's how it's going to be seen in publicly, and then that can in turn cause her to have severed and damaged relationship with people's. And she thinking 500, she can't get 500 now. It'll be hard for her to get less than that in the future if things aren't said in a way to actually help the conversation move forward. But y'all know 50 trying to work with Taraji, so baby, she better pick up that phone and call, because he said, baby, all green light gang on the Shreveport. So hey, you might be seeing that in Shreveport if she take him up on this offer. But y'all, here go the actual clip of Comedy Hype, basically saying, Monique, it's questionable. That honey sugar baby love talk, it ain't really what it's cracked up to be. And you could be trying to ask for grace all day long, but it's like, baby, you mess up once, that's all, you only get one time with Monique.
Kind of might be wondering why Monique has never done our show, and since the first time she did an interview with us. And I think that's a great example of when we don't give each other grace. And I think the unfortunate side of it is that Monique presents herself as an advocate, and my brother this, my sister this, and then when we make a mistake, she writes us off to oblivion. So we did a one-on-one interview with Monique several years ago. They did phenomenal for our platform. It put us on the map. And it also, I think, helped change Monique's narrative, that at the time people weren't understanding why she was making the decisions that she was. And it's a great interview. And since then, I would catch wind that Monique and her husband were unhappy with how it was edited.
Yeah.
Right? And it kind of came to me later, meaning I was, I remember reaching out to kind of keep that momentum going. And there was light curves or light, things that not really address the elephant in the room, until one day I decided to kind of get that answer. And we even got to a point, we went to Monique's show and wanted to physically show hey, we are trying to make this work, and I don't even know if a white company would even go up to someone's show and try to do a face-to-face. And in the process of doing that, it felt like more so we didn't really get a direct answer until I did speak with her husband. And he pretty much laid it up to me. And he felt that an apology was owed. And he felt that the way that we edited the interview, which excluded him from the conversation, seemed to be their concern. I was confused at first in receiving that, because in the process of it, I remember how happy and excited they were. And if you know me working with me, I'm quick to make adjustments.
Right.
So at any point, they could have been able to say, hey, John, we don't like this. Well, cool, let's take it down. Let's edit this. Let's maneuver, because that's never my intention to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah. I want us to take accountability, because we could have done better. We could have, maybe the apology or something like that. And not even a maybe. I do think, apologizing and being able to mend that relationship in that way, especially if that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
But the disappointing part, I told her, hey, we love you at Comedy Hype, and then she just kind of dismissed me.
Mm-hmm.
But to see what she went through with Netflix not valuing you and not even open to negotiation, all these things, hey, let's boycott Netflix. Right. And then you do a special with Netflix, you mend that relationship, and we've reached out a couple times to Monique, and it's there's no grace or desire to mend a relationship with a black platform.
Completely roll us off.
Correct.
I think the issue is them being the OGs that they are. Hey, this young brother clearly is making a mistake. Let's maybe guide him. Let's maybe let's maybe try to inform him on what the real issue is.
So based off of what was being said, they severed their relationship with that platform because of the way it was edited. Now, again, I would have never known that she took issue with the interview, because y'all know that was a viral interview in terms of where she stood with the industry and being blackballed. So I never understood or would have known that there was an issue. But obviously she did not like the fact that her husband was cut out of the interview. So let's see what Tony says. It seems like O didn't do what she was supposed to do, but then acted like she was the hero for these queens when, just like Monique said, these things should have been already in place. And that is very much the case, where things should have been done prior to, and why it was done is still kind of puzzling. Again, I think that the focus is going to always be on Oprah because she is the face of it. But we all know Oprah not sitting down looking to see, okay, we got 58 trailers set up. Who all got this? Who all got that? Like, honestly, the person on her team who is responsible for that, in addition to those other three producers, like I said, they all should have the brunt of the blame. And overall, yes, they did not see the value in giving these people what they deserve up front, which is a systemic thing, which Oprah could be a part of the system, but her coming in to save it. I think that's what I'm saying in terms of like Taraji P Henson and them actually focusing on that, because they don't want that to make it seem like they were difficult, or that they're putting this bad information out on the actual production team, because they do want to sever their relationship versus someone like Monique. She don't really care about these relationships, and because she understands the system and she's not really trying to be a part of it. But for those who are and those who want to be a part of it, they still should have those opportunities too, to where, they forgiven. They were the people who were actually affected, and um they took the apology, and nothing bad happened from that point on. Um, let's see, we have another comment from Seabreeze 40. Miss Taraji can only make true changes from the inside. I mean, true change from the inside. Let's talk public and more inside networking. At least follow behind someone who has made change and not brought out. Yep. All right, let's see. Tony has something else to say. He says, no, I think she called O out because she is a black woman who should have made sure her black sisters were taken care of. And like I said, that is true. But just like Oprah, Quincy Jones, who is a producer on this on this movie, he got black daughters, black wives. I mean, even if they is mixed, they're part of him. He got a black mama. So everybody deserves the blame for it, because at the end of the day, all of them were producers on the set. Therefore, 25, 25, 25. All of them getting a piece of the pie, and all of them should be responsible. This was not none of them first film, and like I said in the beginning, neither of those people are doing the actual day-to-day work. So I'm sure a lot of people behind the scenes, they got probably fired. And so because their names are on it, ultimately they do have to take responsibility for what their team did not do, just like us on our day-to-day jobs. Like, we're doing the work for our managers. But when our managers go into those meetings with executives, they're gonna take the hit. So if you didn't do your job, then they get in trouble, and then they're gonna bring it to you to be like, why it wasn't done. Again, it's a systemic issue nonetheless, that it should have been. But when she say she didn't know, it's possible. I'm thinking she probably didn't know a lot of the things were happening, because again, it's like first, second, third. She not no Tyler Perry. Like Tyler Perry, if you say it was Tyler Perry, I could be more inclined to believe it, because he be on them sets. He the director. He everything. He Medea. He the damn taxi driver sometime, in my opinion. So if you say it was somebody like him, then yeah, I can foresee that. But if you saying individually Oprah, I don't know. But I was looking for Monique opinion, and I already knew the response that she was going to give. It was going to be more like this. But like I said, the problem becomes more of her wanting to be like, see, I told y'all that woman ain't no good, and she probably ain't no good. But again, versus taking down the whole system, or the whole entire tree. You want to just take down the branch so that it could be like, yep, I was right. I told y'all, y'all ain't want to listen, but now y'all gonna listen now because somebody else saying it. That weak sister Taraji is talking, and because I had my black strong man behind me, y'all ain't want to listen. Daddy, me and Daddy was trying to tell you. Let's see what C Breezy said. See, Breezy said, Miss Oprah at the end of the day is still a black woman who does have pull. She isn't the boss. Stop following behind Monique. I love all involved. But if it was handled, what's the problem? And see, that's more of like what I was saying while I played the other clip, to where what the man was saying was like, there is no grace. It's like, okay, if I'm offering to fix it and it becomes pleasing, why can't you forgive and all be well? Like, we can see, we don't really know the pattern as to what was happening. Like, yeah, the precious thing was the first instance, and then the next thing became like this is the next thing that I know of, or whatever, and the ball was dropped. Now in Monique instance, they never cared to fix anything, which is why her situation is still kind of like in the corner. And at this point, I don't think Monique really wants it. The only thing that she probably wants as of now would be like a public apology, to again be like, see, I told y'all, and to clear her name so that she won't be blackballed. But in this situation, everything that was said to be an issue was fixed. Monique issue never was resolved because again, they had this, she decided that at the end of the day, if they wasn't paying her, then she was ready to walk away, and that was gonna be that. But on this instance, she did fix the issue, and it was said not to, said not to be an issue no more. So her coming off and appearing to be a hero, I guess it can be seen as that, but I think it was more or less like, okay, these people in the field, they're not getting us what we need, so we're going to the head honcho. Now, if we would have went to the head honcho and nothing would have been resolved, then we got a problem. Because then even from there, once Oprah found out that they could not, that they did not have what they needed, she then went back to Warner Brothers like, hey, what's the issue? Why they don't have this? Why they don't have that? And again, this is some of the things that her team has to take responsibility for, because now she is in the public made to look like she was not taking care of these people. Let's see. C Breeze says, Miss Monique made a deal with the devil, her friend Lee Daniels. Oprah and Tyler came in after she made the deal for 50,000, and she forgave her friend for a job. Yeah, she did, because they mended their relationship too. And that's the thing. It's like the same thing that people on Comedy Hype were saying is like, you didn't want to forgive us and sever our relationship for something that we didn't even know was a problem, for one, and for two, we're a black platform and we trying to figure it out, because literally this is kind of like you our first interview, our first big interview, and you putting us on the map. So we kind of want to keep this thing going and try to make this a best interest relationship for the both of us. However, you just kind of threw us to the dogs. But when you were asking us to do all this boycotting and stuff like that, you was able to then go in and mend your relationships, forgive the people who needed to be forgiven in those instances, and be like, okay, now all is well. And that was just the point to where I even brought it up, to be like, okay, if you're gonna be the spokesperson and this is how you're gonna be online, you gotta be that way when the ball is rolling in all angles. And being sugar baby, sister, brother, that's gonna be your stance. It gotta be your stance through and through. So I'm glad y'all came on and chatted with me. This is a very interesting topic. Again, uh, everything that Monique is saying is true. Everything should have been handled from jump. But it's never going to be good enough, because of the things that happened to her, unfortunately. So she don't even have no room to see the forgiveness in it all, and she probably don't even think that Taraji and them probably should even be wanting to have a relationship after they don't really see her value. Um, and again, whenever you inviting Monique onto a platform, baby, you better have that camera blasted on Daddy too, because he got something to say and he gonna be right there with her. Which that's okay too, because like I said in one of the other interviews, he is a part of her brand, and that's the way that she puts herself out there. Because again, it keeps them locked tight, locked solid within their relationship, moving throughout this business. Because she has had failed relationships and failed marriages, and she decided to do something different, and he is a part of her brand, and that's what she wants people to understand and know. I believe why she wants him on the camera, because whenever you see me, you see him, you see him, you see me, and that's just how it's gonna go. Let's see. See, Breezy said, I wish Monique made a bigger deal trying to do a successful special as she going after Oprah. The hate train is old. Yeah, it's like at this point, even like I said, when being asked about it, because everybody want to know when this was happening, where you at, where you at. Because I even did a video on it, y'all. Y'all go and check it out. I was like, Monique, where you at? Like Jennifer Hudson, where you at? And baby Monique popped up and said, baby, I'm right here, like she was with Mystical. But yeah, I think that it's definitely when you starting to, now that the situation is over with the you and Tyler thing, now the focus have to be on just the system. Kind of like the Cat Williams. He didn't expose all who he had to expose. After that, if it's not nobody new, talk about the system. How do we get past it? What do we have to do? How do you go on to create your own project so that you're not trying to break down these people doors who don't want to give you the chance and who don't want to give you the opportunities? Like now the conversations have to be different, because when you in this position and you are an advocate, you have to advocate for the whole thing through and through. You are not you- you- uh you're not your issues are not just the problem. It's the problem of everything and everybody who may be walking in your footsteps. And I think she do a good job in bringing up the past generations, like on her Instagram and stuff like that. But when coming on to the platforms and doing interview, it has to be the whole entire generation, so that you don't seem as just a bitter, disgruntled person who just have your hands out for just these two people. Because now it's only two. Because y'all know she ain't got to speak on Lee Daniels no more, because they done made up. So now it's just Oprah and Tyler. So in order to kind of get that narrative uh away and not being seen as just again a person who, like C Breezer said, like on this hate train, you gotta focus on the actual issues at hand. The issue at hand is the black and brown people aren't being treated equal, they're not being paid equal. So how do we start to now work together to create our own, so that we can put our own on? And what do we want to see whenever we're working together to put our own on? Because again, we don't want to be gatekeepers, because that's the same things that Cat Williams was talking about. We're black, putting people in, but we only want to put certain people in. How could we minimize things like that happening? Where do we start? How do we start to be able to go in and break down the current system that's in place? All right. See, Breeze said Precious came out in 2010. What production deal or movies she made or speaking to warn the newbies has she really done? What has she built after all this time? Monique is true. Monique is a truth telling bully. Girl, not a truth telling bully. Okay. Baby C Breezy says she got it all to tell. And baby Monique, she be saying it, but again, if you don't, in order for people to see the truth and accept the truth, really you have to be what you speak. And again, especially a person who being put out there like sugar, honey, baby pie, like that's how you really have to be, and you can't really be behind the scenes doing any and everything. Cause y'all, I even seen something with this lady. Oh, what is her name? She was on the Storm show, something Berry. She used to be married to Rerun, and she said the same thing as when it comes to Monique, like she's not really who she is in person, like because there's been altercations or instances where she heard Monique speaking ill of her, and she brought it to her attention, and basically Monique just kind of brushed her off. So this wasn't necessarily meant to be a hate train on Monique, but just more or less of like, hey, some things we just got to get past, and we have to find the bigger issue. Like, is Oprah gonna be able to take down the system by herself? No, especially if she a part of the system. But again, for those ladies who were a part of her production or a part of the cast, they don't want their name associated with bringing down Oprah or being negative. They wanted to focus on like, hey, she took care of it because they know how the industry is and what this could potentially do if it's seen to be unfavorable. Especially if that movie does not gross what it needs to gross in order for them people to get their money back. Because that was the whole point and purpose of Oprah even being like the face of this. Yes, she was an original cast of the original movie. However, she already know her next deals and stuff is gonna be looked at based off of this. And the Warner Brother people, they want their money back, so they don't want all the negative press, and they want to be able to push forward to be able to bring new things to the studio. Let's see. See, Breeze said, "We are watching black people do white man dirty work. If someone else has the true power, what good is it to only come after other black people?" Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. Like, we already know who holds the power, so how can we be able to get these change to come about without tearing the black person down? Because even in reporting the celebrity news and stuff like that, like it do seem like we tearing the black people down and we're not giving them the chances that other people did, especially when it comes to like this exposed and stuff. So y'all, it have to be like a balance. That's just how the world work. We got to find a balance in it all. So thank y'all so much for chatting with me. Let me know, for anybody who watched this later, let me know what y'all think. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Y'all, I'm hoping to go live tomorrow with something that we can chat about. So make sure y'all stay tuned. If y'all ever come on to the platform and y'all see me live, please jump on with me so that we could talk. Let's see. See, Bree said, so let's say Monique get rid of Tyler and Oprah. Who do we have to move the who do we have to move the needle? Congratulations to your platform. Thank you so much. I sure hope that we continue to make strides in building the platform, keep the conversation going. That is why we're the media chat room, because we value everybody's opinion just as long as we keep it respectful. Opinions is just like buttholes. Everybody got one. So hey, say what you feel. We have no issues with what people say as long as it's respectful. But thank you so much, C Breeze, for chatting with us. Let's see. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Honeydew and Audrey. Y'all have made my night, because y'all, I was really feeling like a real commentator. Like I had like a little show going on. So thanks to y'all. Again, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video also. Y'all can always also email me if y'all have anything particular that y'all want to talk about that we may not be covering. We do follow the hot trends, but if it's something that's going on that we may have missed, we we definitely, and y'all want to see it, we definitely want to make sure that we cover it. So thank y'all again. Y'all have a good night. Y'all bundle up because it is cold outside, and make sure that y'all continue to follow us and engage with us throughout us putting our content. So that's gonna be all for now. Until next time. Bye bye.